Hello and welcome again to investingsuccess.ca and another of our short video presentations in which we take a look at the financial markets, astrology, and human emotion. What you're looking at on your screen in front of you is a chart of gold futures, continuous front month, and I have overlaid this chart with Mars harmonic lines, Jupiter harmonic lines, and Pluto harmonic lines. And I'd like to show you a couple features here, if I may, just to start. You can see that back in June of 2013, the price of gold had a nasty sell-off, and it actually found support right at one of these Pluto harmonic lines. The same thing happened in December 2013. Price of gold had been trending down. It found support right at one of these Pluto lines and it promptly reversed to the upside. And just a few days ago we had a similar situation where the price had been declining and it found support at looks like $1,185 an ounce right at one of the Pluto harmonic lines. And such is the power of these harmonic lines as outlined by Fabio Aresti in his book Quantum Trading. They are very powerful points of resistance and support on a chart for commodities, individual stocks, and indices as well. Now what I want to really point out in this video is if you take a look at those times when some of these harmonic lines start intersecting with each other, they can be powerful precursors of short-term trend changes. For example, if you go back in time to September of 2013, you can see that we've got an intersection here of a Mars line, the Pluto line, and the Jupiter line is right in there as well. And look at what happened at that intersection point. If I can bring up my cursor here, right there, you can see that the stochastic was indicating that the trend had already turned down. And so as a short-term trader, if you were perhaps uncertain as to whether this was a real downtrend with real legs behind it, you could rest easy because you knew that you had this very powerful intersection point of these harmonic lines fast approaching, and all you had to do was simply wait to see what price action did there. And in fact, right at that intersection point, you can see that the price of gold dropped, and even though it flailed around a bit, the downtrend certainly was on, and it didn't stop until it hit one of these Pluto subharmonics. Where's the next intersection that we can look at here? Here's another one here where you've got a Pluto and a Jupiter that cross at a very shallow angle to each other, and you can see that following that cross, the price of gold trended down. It went from $12.71 an ounce, hitting an ultimate low of $12.12. So somewhere in there was a pretty decent trade. Stochastic throughout was indicating an oversold condition that remained oversold. Where's another one here? Here we go. In March of 2014, price of gold had put on quite a powerful rally, and stochastic was indicating that you were in an oversold situation. The price started to decline, and look what happened right at the intersection of a Mars subharmonic and the Pluto full harmonic. Your stochastic gives you a negative crossover, indicating that you've definitely got a change of trend, and sure enough, the price of gold drops from $1,356 an ounce down to $12.77. So somewhere in there would have been a very nice trade for the short-term trader. Let's see here. I'll move my screen over here a little bit. Here's another one here. This one happened just recently here at the early part of September 2014. You can see that we've got this intersection here of the Mars subharmonic and the Pluto subharmonic, and the price of gold goes from $12.68 and it comes right down and it tests the Pluto subharmonic at 1182. So again, somewhere in there you've got the potential for a trade. Your stochastic is indicating that you're oversold and you're continuing to remain in negative territory. And what you ideally want to be doing is also applying other chart indicators, perhaps a DMI, perhaps some short-term moving averages, perhaps an RSI. Always be looking for confirmation that the trend is continuing either positively or negatively. And really the secret to these harmonic crossovers is to then, don't be trying to chase every signal that comes along. Look at the chart, look ahead in time, see when the next crossover is, plan your strategy around these crossovers. Now, speaking of the next crossover, we can see that we've got one coming up here around about the 30th of October, when a Mars subharmonic will cross the Jupiter full harmonic. What exactly will happen on the 30th of October, I don't know at this point. It's likely that gold might flail around in here and then launch itself higher at the 30th of October. It's also likely that gold could chop around in here and then at the 30th of October exhibit a nasty downturn and take us down into below $1,000, as some are suggesting. I don't know, but the point is, when you know these things are coming, watch for them, wait for them, use your chart technicals, watch which way the price responds at these crossovers and act accordingly. Now, once we get past the end of October, I don't see another crossover until the first week of February, when the Mars subharmonic crosses the Pluto subharmonic. So you're not going to get signals buying or selling on a weekly basis with these harmonic crossovers, but what you will get are more accurate signals, even though they are fewer and farther between, and that should allow you to trade smarter, wiser, and take some of the risk off the table and preserve your capital while making sensible trades that work out well for you. And so, as I say, Fabio Aresti's book is Quantum Trading. It was published in 2012 by John Wiley and Sons. It is available on Amazon.com. I highly recommend that everybody read that book. It is simply amazing, and this stuff really he takes us to a level that W.D. Gann probably was unable to explain in the 1920s and 30s, but really this stuff is rooted in the planetary transit lines that Mr. Gann was so famous for, and all that Aresti does is overlay it with a little bit of quantum physics, and he gives it a fresh spin, but it is as powerful today as it was for W.D. Gann 70, 80 years ago when he was actively trading and making his fortunes. So thanks for watching this short little video, and there will be more to come on this YouTube channel, specifically talking about these harmonic crossovers. And if you have any questions, you can always find me at investingsuccess.ca. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.